email, so hopefully it goes out to participants.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was fun.
It's like everything else with 2020.
Right.
I mean, come on.
So
I
I
read
didn't
something
figure it
every
out.
day that said it's not Zoom, or it's not you, it's Zoom. I'm just like, what is going on? I like every other meeting goes off without him. Trista, thank you for joining us again. Apologies.
Michelle, do you want to update the link in Linktree, and then I can put something on social that says like new link or something like that?
Sure.
Or I can do all of that while you do it.
Everyone, can you please put yourself on mute, just so we can hear? Yes, thank you. Denisha, what did you say?
I said, do you want to update the link on Linktree, and then I can put out something on social that just like redirects people, like a story post or something like that?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me know when it's done. I'll do it.
Okay. We'll be starting very, very soon. All right, Linktree is updated. Okay, thank you so much for joining, everyone. So we're gonna get started, not to hold everyone up. So if you are a panelist, I ask that you unmute yourself and start your video. If you are a participant, just stay muted and have your video off. But round two, all right. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. My name is Michelle. I'm the founder of The Bomb. We started in December of 2016 as an in real life pop-up market. A few of the business owners here have participated. Shout out to Folk and Elo, Niambi, and Timothy. So we started primarily in New York. I since did a pop-up in my hometown in Boston last year. And our newest venture is this subscription box to help people discover Black-owned brands. So today we're going to talk specifically to the founders in the box, and these are the lovely people that you see here. They are going to talk to you about some of their founding stories, but specifically I want them to talk about the actual product in the box to help you learn more how to utilize it into your everyday life. Thank you, Roxy, or I don't know, that's Kim. Hi, Kim. So first and foremost, I'm gonna actually start with Timothy, since he's been our OG. He's been at every single market to date. So just so happy to always have him come on board. So thank you, Timothy, for joining. Tell us a little bit about Elo and why you started and how you started.
So Elo is a vegan lifestyle brand. Our mission is to reduce waste by simplifying and elevating the everyday products we use. We started the brand with lip balm, which is kind of what put us on the map. We're the only lip balm in the world that is completely edible. We are tested by the FDA. All of our color and scents are only created from fruits, flowers, or spices. There are no wax, and there is no dye, no fragrances, no petroleum. It's like a whole situation. Since then, we created like aromatherapy. We've gone on to create diffusers, insect repellents, and just recently launched the world's first refillable and moisturizing hand sanitizer. So yeah, we are all about innovation, 6 ingredients or less, keeping everything super clean and simple, but also keeping it super sexy. You know, when we talk about sustainability, a lot of people like stop paying attention because it's not the most attractive conversation. So that's why we make everything so beautiful that you don't even realize that you're reducing waste.
Beautiful. So next we're going to kick it off to Folk. The founder of Folk is Niambi. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and the company?
Sure. Hi, you guys. I'm Niambi Kakuli. Can you hear me? Because I'm in the bathroom. Uh, where my two kids and my husband were actually in the Poconos. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
So I named the company, which I launched in 2018, after my favorite word, which is folk. I'm from Kentucky, so we always say like kinfolk, we folk. Um, but also, I'm really committed to African diaspora herbalism. So all of the products that I create are inspired by folk beauty of the African diaspora, which means the not necessarily just the beauty traditions of African descendants and the continent, but also the ingredients that we use in our cooking. And I worked as an African diaspora historian and lived abroad for years. And I would just mix and match ingredients to keep my skin glowing. And when I moved back to the States in 2008, I found it really hard to find skincare that was natural and that wouldn't clog my pores because I'm 46 and I still get breakouts. So for me, when I decided to launch for women of color, I needed to make sure that everything was non-clogging because we may not have, as we grow older, we may not have, wrinkles as our main sign of aging, but we may have issues of breakouts and dehydration. So went to beauty school, came up with this brand, and I really love, really portraying women of color and people of color as cultural innovators. So folk is it's kind of me in a bottle. I poured everything that I love into a bottle, and you guys have been enjoying our Glow Replenish face wash. Um, Timothy's glow is thanks to our face wash. So I'm really looking forward to hearing how you love it. And I'll give you some quick tips on how we can beat this mask knee that everybody is talking about and have our skin staying soft and supple during this period. I can't hear you, Michelle.
You're muted.
Thank you so much for that. That was lovely. Next, I'm gonna pass it off to Fly of Boss Blend Coffee. Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and your company, please?
Hi, everyone. So grateful to be here with you guys. I'm Fly, the founder and CEO of Boss Blend Coffee. I'm from Newark, New Jersey, born and raised, currently in South Brunswick, New Jersey. And I launched Boss Blend Coffee in 2018. And the inspiration for going into the coffee business with no prior experience to coffee was just my culture, having my Cuban background. Coffee was just part of my upbringing and the center of everything. But I felt and I noticed that there was no Black representation in the coffee culture. It's a white male dominated space. And I was like, why not create something for us, because Black people drink just as much coffee as the white people, as white folk. So what I did was I just put my passion into it and started creating blends. I had no idea what I was doing, but just went, gathered a whole bunch of beans and started blending things in my kitchen. My mother was testing it out and she was like, okay, that's it. So that's how we came up with Culture Blend, which is the blend that's in the box, which is a super smooth, smoky, dark roast. It's a beautiful coffee. And here we are in 2020. We just leased our warehouse 2 days ago, and we are literally about to shape the coffee industry like no one has ever before. As a Black woman, it's very scary, but we in this thing. So the goal is to pitch to stores and be the first nationally distributed female Black-owned coffee brand in the stores. So that's the goal. That's the
goal. We are rooting for you. That's amazing.
Thank you.
So next up, we are going to pass it to Nicole from The Clarity Shop. Nicole, tell us a little bit about yourself and your brand.
Hi, everyone. So I started The Clarity Shop in 2018 as well. By day, I'm a nurse working in medical device sales. And so when I first started the Clarity Shop, I wanted to create a space for me where I could have a sense of like clarity and relaxation since my day to day is usually like really busy. And so the two things that I absolutely love, candles and music, I decided to put them together. And so that was the whole, I guess, inspiration behind how I got everything started. It's been an amazing journey because, music, I feel like evokes like so many different emotions and moods. And so when I was in the process of curating, different scents, I tried to play each candle scent based on like certain music and playlists that I've come up with. But yeah, it's been really exciting so far, and I've been able to do some amazing collaborations. And I'm excited for what I would like to trend in and evolve to in the future. But,
I love that. And I also put in the Clarity Shop playlist that she created that goes along with her candle that's in the box. So that's in the chat for you all. Last but certainly not least, Monique from Butter and Lyle. Please tell us about yourself and your business.
I feel like I'm the newbie here because I just launched a couple of months ago. Hi, everyone. I'm very happy to be here with all of you guys. My name is Monique. I'm based out of Brooklyn, New York. So the way this Butter and Lye came about, so I guess I could talk about the name. So Butter and Lye is just an homage to the traditional soap making process where they would just take any sort of fat, whether it be like a shea butter or mango butter or even animal fat, but we're a vegan brand, so we don't use animal fats. And you just mix it with lye and you get soap. And so this is just an homage to the ancient tradition of soap making, which has been around for thousands of years at this point. So I started Butter and Lye because I was thinking a lot about just the interactions between chemicals and the human body, especially the skin. So I'm a biochemist by training, and I had a really severe bout with acne, and I couldn't figure out why. All of the things that I tried, nothing worked. And so on top of, number one, putting a bunch of plastic bottles into the landfills, because all of the liquid soaps come in plastic bottles. It's impossible to get one in any sort of sustainable, well, not quite impossible, but at the time it was very rare. And secondly, there's a lot of chemicals in these things. And so as I started doing research on these chemicals, I realized a lot of them are just derivatives of natural things. Like, if you see, like there are lots of chemicals that you would just find in coconut oil, or you would find it in shea butter. And so what I did was I worked for about 1.5 years to create a soap that was made with a lot of the similar ingredients, but it was just the natural version of them. And that's how Butter and Lye came about. So it's a very natural soap company. We're completely sustainable. Every single business decision that we make is sustainable, including the ink on our boxes being non-toxic. So we're very cautious with everything that we do. And I'm pretty excited to be here with you guys as a brand new company, just launched back in March. So
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing your story, everyone. And thank you for joining me today. So specifically, I chose the products in the box. Mainly, some of you all, I obviously have a personal relationship with, Timothy and Nyambi, but I love the products. I love the brand. I love what it stands for. So I would love for you all to tell the people on the line right now about the product that they have in their box specifically, and I guess a best practice on how to use it, how it was created, why you created it perhaps, anything that you feel speaks to that specific product. So I'm going to start off actually with Boss Blend. Have it here. It smells wonderful. So Lye, I made a cup of coffee this morning, and my mom is a coffee drinker. I'm not. And I loved it. So
thank you.
Please tell me about it. Tell us all about it.
Funny story about, and I haven't told this story in a very long time. When I launched, the original name of Culture was called Havana. My mom is from Havana, Cuba, and it was the goal was to pay homage to my culture. And I've never visited Cuba, but I'm ready to go. But just hearing all of my mother's stories and how when she was a little girl, she would work in the, just picking coffee and doing all these things with my grandmother who passed away. And I remember when I first launched Boss Blend, it was called Havana. And the smokiness of the coffee and the smoothness was a homage to my mother's stories. And I remember I was flagged by the government for selling something that had the word Havana on it, because you cannot even insinuate that you're selling something from Cuba because it's illegal, right? So they flagged me. Any sales that I made, they held my funds. So I remember speaking to PayPal. I'm like, hello, because my first day of launching, I made $1,000, right? I was shook. The bags were ugly. The labels were horrible. But I had an audience that believed, because it was already part of my lifestyle, so it made sense. Like, oh, Fly, she drinks coffee every day. She takes us on her journey. Duh, right? But I remember talking to the lady, like, listen, like, what's going on? And she was like, unfortunately, you're going to have, if you don't want to fight with the government and really put all this paperwork in about why this is called Havana and that this is nothing, no origins, nothing from Cuba, then you need to change the name. And I'm like, okay. So I remember going on stories and asking my audience, like, listen, this is part of my life, my culture, la la la, help me name it, because this is our signature blend. This is the best seller. And everybody was like, name it culture, duh. And I'm like, oh, mind blown. So that's how the name came about. And just picking and creating the blends, my mother had everything to do with it, because we do something in coffee called cupping. And it's when you roast your coffee, you roast it to the profile that you want, you get the notes ready. So rather it's, you want the smoky notes, the caramel notes, whatever note the coffee is, you want to really bring that profile out during the roasting process. And when we cup, we then brew the coffee, usually in a pour over style, which is to me the best way to brew coffee. It's a pour over style. And then we have something called cupping sessions. My cupping sessions happen in my home because, that's where we started. So it's just me and my mom cupping. Okay, when you want to talk about caffeinated, we were caffeinated, okay, for months. And basically you just pour the coffee in hot water, you take all the film out of it, you take the spoon, you slurp it up so you can get all of the notes. It's very much like wine tasting. So you can get all of the notes and you swirl it around your mouth and you just get all of the notes. It's just this beautiful experience. And I remember my mother saying, that's it. We're gonna do the blend of the Portugal and Spain beans. And it has been literally what's made my business successful. So how to use it, for me, I always recommend a pour over style, but the reality is, like the masses, a lot of times we don't have time for that type of slow brew, controlling of your brew. So just a standard drip coffee maker will do. The water to coffee ratio really depends on your preference. Some people like way more coffee, so 3 scoops to maybe 6 ounces of water. It really depends on your preference. The more water you put, the lighter the brew, the less water, the darker the brew. What I want to tell people, that dark roast does not mean more caffeine. Medium roast coffee has more caffeine in it. So when you hear dark roast, a lot of people get scared and like, oh my God, it's gonna have me jittery, it's too much caffeine. A darker roast has less caffeine in it. But you do have a lot more bitterness depending on how long they roast it. So don't be afraid of dark roast. When roasted properly, it's a beautiful coffee, super smooth. And a lot of people enjoy culture. Even people who don't drink coffee, they like it. So, yeah. And I'm glad that, people are loving their coffee rituals. And that's another thing. We live in such a busy society. We're always going. And coffee, to be honestly, is something that people just grab and go. And they don't even think about the process of coffee and how it's really a ritual. So my morning rituals is our thing, and that's our slogan, and we push that a lot in our marketing strategy, because I want people to slow down and enjoy their coffee, because A, it's expensive. We pay about $7 on the go for coffee. We just chug it. Enjoy it. If you're home, slow down and really create a ritual for yourself. And I don't know about anybody here who drinks coffee, but I dream about my first cup of coffee in the morning. Hello? So I want to enjoy it. I want it to be beautiful. And even on the days where you're on the go, just pause, enjoy your coffee, enjoy your Boss Blend coffee. And then kick ass, because we bosses, right? So that's the whole thing. It's all about entrepreneurship, 9-to-5ers, 5-to-9ers, side hustlers. Like, we're all bosses in our own right. So that's the whole spiel of Boss Blend Coffee, really.
I love that. I am sold. So thank you so much. I love hearing that story. I'm going to go back to a few points that you made in a minute, but I'm going to keep it moving. Nicole from the Clarity Shop, I'm going to have you go next. Nicole has a Deeply Rooted candle in her box. Can you tell us specifically about this product in the box and what we're smelling? Well, for those that have it.
Yes. So first off, all of my candles are natural coconut wax blended candles. The wicks are all natural cotton wicks, and then I use toxic-free fragrance and essential oils. The whole idea of me coming up with Deeply Rooted is that I really wanted to do something to give ode to like the Black culture. And the whole, I guess, concept behind Deeply Rooted is that our culture, we've gone through so much from the past, you know, especially like our ancestors. And it just gives triumph that no matter how much we've gone through, we always seem to overcome. And because we have such deep roots, and no matter what, we just keep fighting and progressing forward. So I came up with Deeply Rooted. The scents I use are bergamot, sandalwood, and lilac. And I chose those scents because sandalwood tends to have more of like a woodsy kind of strong smell, but then the lilac and the bergamot kind of even it out to, you know, make it a little bit more fruity with a touch of like citrus to it. So I think overall it just kind of, you know, evens it out to really be deeply rooted.
I love that. It smells wonderful. I look
forward
to it.
And I made a playlist to go along with it as well. And so I tried to include some songs that not only, you know, kind of speak on the hardships and the triumphs of our culture, and then some that are inspirational as far as us not giving up, and then some that are just like Black Parade. So, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So next, I think I'm gonna pass it to. So I'm gonna go with you, Nambi. You are next. So we have the Glow Replenish face wash. That's included in the box, and it's in the low key box. Timothy uses this every day, which is why if you want skin like him. Yeah. So tell us about specifically this product in the box.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say I connect so much with Boss Blend and the Clarity Shop. I love the curation of this box. I feel like you connected brands and products that really mesh well together. And I've just been thinking a lot, before I talk about Glow Replenish, I've been thinking a lot, you know, since May, a lot of us have been on, you know, the best of Black brands, or these are Black businesses to follow. And I still see some coming up now that we're in August. And what I really want to say to people is buy Black brands, because we know what we're doing, because we come from cultures, from heritage that have generations of makers. We know spice, we know plants, we know lye, you know, we know how to make something out of nothing. And we know how to add swag to it in a way that nobody else understands how to do. So don't buy Black brands to support Black businesses. Buy Black brands because we know what we're doing. And so I'm just so proud to be a part of this this launch. I really appreciate
Proud to have you.
The Glow Replenish. So if you go onto Folk, you'll see sometimes that's sort of the foundation of where we come from. Is we're always we're always working on telling the story of African diaspora innovation and herbalism, and really telling the story of herbs. And so Glow Replenish for me is a special place in my heart. Anytime you see rose in any of my products, whether it's like a US rose or a Moroccan rose, rose is always my grandmother, because I grew up in Kentucky and my grandmother was a farm girl. Actually, all my people were farm people. You know, Black folk are green folk. But my grandmother was a very, very proud rose cultivator. She had roses all surrounding her whole house. So anytime you see roses in my products, that's me in the workshop really summoning my grandmother. And rose is also really nice because it's one of those ingredients that goes through the ages, whether you're, regardless of what gender you are or where you are age-wise, it can offer your skin a lot of kindness and anti-inflammatory. It is, it's good if you have like red patches or you have some dryness. And I love it actually for the summer because, you know, the summer has been high and low and people are so stressed the fuck out. So rose really just calms you down. You know, you just inhale. And we often think about taking care of our skin from the outside in. But of course, I'm sure everybody on this call knows that you really do need to start from the inside out. And so rose is really nice because once that fragrance hits your nose, it just immediately takes you outdoors, it takes you to a softer time, and it just helps ease that anxiety. So that's one of the reasons why I always have rose in my skincare for skin that is sensitive, irritated. I think for this season that we're in, that tends to be high anxiety, rose is just one of those key ingredients that you're always going to want to have in your beauty cabinet. And then there's moringa oil as well. And I love telling the story of moringa because it's one of those plants where you'll see it, you know, in West Africa, but you'll also see it in the Caribbean. Our graphic designer literally in Trinidad can go out to his backyard and pull out some fresh moringa leaves from his moringa tree. And I love telling, you know, our customers, we have like a wide base of customers that regardless of what cultural background they're from, they need to know where these ingredients are coming from. So moringa, I love putting in the Glow Replenish. We get that moringa from Ghana. We actually get that moringa oil from another beauty brand called True Moringa. So behind the scenes, we're also working with other beauty brands, which, you know, we all need to be on the shelves, right? We all need to be on the shelves. So that collaboration with True Moringa just like warms my heart. Moringa is really nice in that it is nourishing for the skin, but it won't clog the skin. So again, when I'm thinking about formulating for women of color, people of color, I'm always thinking about making sure that it does not clog the skin, because even as we get older, we still tend to have breakouts. So that's the story of how I came up with the Glow Replenish blend. I know I only have like 1 minute left, so I just want to make sure that I do talk a little bit about maskne because it's coming up a lot in my feed. Maskne is that the sudden breakouts that people are getting along their chin and their cheeks, especially people who have never had breakouts before, because you have to wear the mask for long periods of time. And, you know, besides washing your mask daily or even switching over to paper masks, which is what we do in the workshop, and, you know, throwing them away every day so you don't have that bacteria, the first thing you want to do when you are washing your face, you always want to wash your hands first, right? Because face hygiene has to start with hand hygiene. So you always want to wash your face first. You can wash it with Butter and Lies soap as well, or you can put like an extra pump of the Glow Replenish, but just make sure your hands are clean. And then it depends really. If you have a drier skin type, I actually suggest that you wash your face once a day rather than twice. and washing it, definitely wash your face at night, regardless of what your skin condition is, because you want any kind of germs, any kind of bacteria off your face before that face hits that pillow. So if you only have time to wash your face once a day, or if you have super dry skin, do it at night before you go to bed. And then in the morning, you can use a toner or a cleansing oil to wipe your face down. But if you have, oily combination skin and you're using the Glow Replenish, then you can do it at night and then in the morning before you go to work. That's my thing. But yeah, thanks again. And I also I love being a part of this box because I'm super shy actually. And being able to be a part of the BOM's in-person markets allowed me to speak one-on-one with literally like hundreds of Black men and women about what their skin needs were. And then I just went back to the workshop and I was like, let me formulate based on what we need. So,
I love that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna move forward with Monique from Butter and Lyle. And in the box, we have the Rose Hip Bar. Can you speak to us about any little anecdotes you have about this specific product and what you're making it?
So the Rose Hip Bar is my moisturizing bar. So Rose Hips are, packed full of vitamins. They're very moisturizing for the skin. They improve your texture and your tone. It does so much. I love the Rose Hip Bar. It's one of my favorites. I use it every day all over my body. So one thing that my bars don't have are preservatives. So we use something called rosemary extract as a natural preservative. So we don't have like normal toxic preservatives. And rosemary extract has a very light scent. So even though this is an unscented bar, it still has like a little bit of a scent that you're going to notice. And that's from the rosemary extract. The bar is made with all organic oils. So we have things like sunflower oil and olive oil. That's for the moisturizing properties along with the rose hip. We have things like castor oil. Castor oil is very important for like big frothy bubbles so you get a good lather. We have coconut oil. Coconut oil has a lot of cleansing properties in it. So you're gonna get a nice clean without it being stripping or drying. So all of these little oils, even though they seem like oils and you don't think that they have like cleansing properties, because when you get oil on your skin, you're trying to get it off with more soap. But when you mix it with the lye, then all these properties come to fruition. And yeah, I'm gonna keep this short and sweet, where if you have a garden outside, after you use the bar, take the packaging, dig a little hole in your garden, water it a little bit, and that packaging is gonna be gone in about 3 months. So it's fully compostable. Yep, I keep the ink very, very light on it so that you don't have to worry about any toxins leaching into your garden, but it's completely compostable. So you could have a very low waste lifestyle using these bars.
I love that. That's perfect. Okay, last but not least, Timothy, bring us home. Tell us about Away, DEET free, because I made the mistake of saying it had DEET in it in my IG live today, but DEET free. So please do a better job than I will at explaining what this product is.
Yeah. So everyone, this is the Away. Everyone, I don't know if you guys see this?
Yeah.
So this is one of our newest products. By far one of my favorites because it has so many uses. It's very important for me for things to have more than one use because we're all about reducing waste. I don't think that should only mean packaging. I think it should also mean like if you are all these things that you do as the artist, I find it my job to listen to the customer and then hear how you move, right? How are you moving? What are the things you're buying? What is the things that you're trying to do and accomplish? And then take all that, bundle it up like, boom, you ain't think of this one. You know what I mean? And that's the goal, right? So it's like 6 ingredients or less, everything being vegan, everything being organic is an ethos. And for a long part of my business, that ran the company, And then I would say within the past year, I was like, you know what? That's not just all you are. You know what I mean? That has become, even as you grow the business, you start learning words like ethos, which I didn't know what that was. You know what I mean? Like, oh,
Yeah.
yo, this is a vibe. That's like our standard, but that we don't have to stop there. And then I'll start thinking about innovation. I start thinking about packaging. And when I launched that diffuser that looked like a pineapple, I was like, oh, all right, I see what's up now. Like, we're about like, and it helps get it's coming from my background. You know, I have a background in furniture design. I love like high-end residential architecture. I can name any car off the street. You can point to any car, I'd say the name, make, model, price, trim levels. You know what I mean? It's things like that. And I love hardware. So when I started designing product, I wanted to feel like a piece of hardware. So this, you guys, is yes, an insect repellent as its second use. It is also aromatherapy. If you know the Elo brand very well, aromatherapy is now about 70% of our products that we make. So these are designed, it's essential oils, has no DEET in it, has no alcohol, and it has no water, which you know insect repellents are usually full of.
Yeah.
I'm about to show you how cute it is in just a second. I want to give you a little bit more of what it does, and then I'm going to shock you up. So you can also spray this in your shower. If you're about to take a hot shower, spray it in the hot water, like 2 pumps, and it's like aromatherapy heaven. You can spray it into an aroma diffuser, like 2 to 3 pumps in an aroma diffuser, and that now starts to negate having the use of a candle. You can also spray it on your sheets and your pillows. Now don't have to use Febreze. Why get off when you can get away, child? So this is the packaging. And the cool thing is it's all one-handed. You pull out of your bag, twist it down to close, twist it up to open. That way you have no caps to lose. Instead of having to buy the same package over and over again, when you are done, twist up, pull out. This is just recyclable. It's made of glass. You can then take this. We have subscription services. We'll probably have a bomb, and then insert and keep it moving. So
come on.
Love it.
Whole oil in it, so it's very moisturizing to the skin. This is very safe to spray on your face. This is definitely like, you can't be Gucci gang down and pulling out pulling out off. You know what I mean? That's not the move. You know what I mean? Like it's a narrative. You know what I mean? Like so we feel like we all, with the blacks, we are fly as fuck always. You know what I mean? And it just makes sense for our products to reflect that. And I feel like a lot of times, I love skincare. You know, I love it. You know, I play that game. I am folk down. My medicine cabinet is 98% Black-owned brands. The only ones is like for something I literally cannot find. But for everything else, I like change it. But I also know that when people think about Black-owned brands, a lot of times they always think skincare or something personal care. And I was like, okay, let's stay in that space, what they expect from us, and then also like move it a bit, like, you know, where is the Black insect repellent? Boom. Where's the Black hand sanitizer? Well, we got what you need. You know what I mean? And that was the kind of thing that I wanted to push with. And, you know, because I think it's all about, when I always think about sustainability, I don't think it's just about products. It's also about how, we were mentioning supporting Black-owned businesses, because we are sustaining each other's lives. You know what I mean? Like, generational wealth is very important to us, at least with myself, my team and stuff like that. And also to your point, Nyambi, the brand that you have created, Michelle, listen, as you all know, you're all makers here, pop-ups becomes a business model, and then it also becomes a job. You know what I mean? And you know, when you have to get ready for those pop-ups, you be like, child, you know, you got to put on a different hat, because you know you're going to get tried today. You're going to defend your work and all that kind of stuff. However, at the bomb, I never go to that shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the client that you bring up in there, like, I'm a shy person. I'm as well, you know what I mean? But they come to you, they be like, now you ain't about to be shy today. You're going to tell me about this product. Like, you know what I mean? And it was just always so beautiful. It was always so beautiful, the space. I know you guys only get to see the box, but whenever COVID let us pop up out of this, baby, wait till she make another pop-up. Like,
I can't even. Yeah. Thank you. so much.
I'm so excited that you're creating this this box. I'm so happy to be a part of it. Anything that you launch, you know I'm going to be on, because I think what you're creating is amazing. The brands that you put together is super amazing. So yeah, I'm really excited you guys got the Away. If you have it, that's how you know. Because I know people are always like, "How you open this thing? It's broke." Damn black people, you know. But like, you know, you twist it to open it, twist to close. So shower, skin, diffusers, and fabric.
I love it. Love it. Thank you. Thank you so
Right.
much. So we're not going to do questions and answers because it took up like a half an hour trying to get this thing up. But I know that Fly has to leave pretty soon, and I want to leave us on a good note. So when I think about, we talk about generational wealth and how we are sustaining each other, the bomb was created just for that. And I can't wait, you know, till COVID is done, because I think this box is like only like a small portion of like, you know, the bomb in the brain. But just trying to, in this time of like COVID, trying to still get these brands to you and at your home, in your home. So the last note that I want to leave us on is Black brands, whenever we're spoken about pre like George Floyd and racial injustice, it was all about like scarcity and trying to maintain and bootstrap and all of that. But I think right now, with all of the love that we're getting, I want to position us in a light of just thriving and what we want for our businesses, and how wealthy and how we are going to provide and really break barriers for the next generation. So my question to you all is, and I'm not going to go in any particular order, anyone can jump in when they need to, is what is your pie in the sky dream for your business? Where do you see this going? Where do you see this ending or beginning, possibly, actually?
Can you repeat that one more time?
So as your brand, what is your pie in the sky dream for Elo, for Folk, for Boss Blend, for Butter and Live, for Clarity? Where do you see this brand going if you had everything you needed to sustain?
I'll start. I'll go. So I have all kinds of vibes, right? Like I think that's one reason why I changed the name. I know you remember when I first started the company, it was called Elo Organic Lip Care. About 2 years ago, we switched the name Elo Vegan Lifestyle, because I think it's about more than just lips. You know, like I said, we do create diffusers and aromatherapy, and we're pushing that concept. I'm now getting into machinery. I can't exactly show it to you, but there's another machine over here in the works. And one of the things I have in mind is I want to work with like developers. So I go back a little bit. We have another brand under ourselves called Power by Elo, which we create products for smaller businesses. So if like a business don't want to be a maker and they want to bring a product to life, we'll sit down with them. We do all the sourcing, the manufacturing, custom packaging, everything.
So we could talk to you then.
From idea to straight to retail, we create products for them. So when I started thinking about that, we started thinking about how do we immerse ourselves into other spaces. So we're in talks with a developer. I would like, this is again, just ideating, right? So if you go into a house, we want it to be Elo certified, this here building. You know, instead of just LEED certified, I mean, it's all about like, you know, energy and all that kind of stuff. It should be Elo certified. So different homes, you can have aromatherapy cartridges that maybe you can slide into a door somewhere and it automatically becomes the scent of the home. You know, if you go into a lot of like hotels and homes and stuff like that, they're now starting to push fragrances. One of our biggest competitors, Le Labo, through all of like their lobbies and all that kind of stuff. And that's kind of a big space where I want to go. I want to go like more corporate, make custom fragrances for like car chains, stuff like that you just plug it directly into the car and then it creates the ambiance within the car and stuff like that. So I'm thinking a lot about just how do we integrate the products into things that already exist. Mostly architecture and the automotive industry is kind of where my mind is at. Don't y'all take
It's in the universe. It's already happening. So I'm gonna have Fly go because I know you have to hop off real quick.
Yes. First of all, I want to say thank you so much, Michelle, for having me and for including me
Pleasure.
in the bomb box. Like, such an honor. Thank you. Because I've heard of you through Kim from Territory. So that's how I know about the brand.
Oh, okay. Great.
So thank you. Where do I see Boss Blend Coffee? You know, that is, I ask myself that every day. And so it's such a heavy question, right? Because like as a new founder, we're new, we're only almost 2. I see myself saying, okay, I want to see, I just started saying, I want to see myself on the shelves in the stores. For a long time, I was like, I don't want to be in the stores. I want that exclusivity of being able just to go from, you know, straight to consumer. Mm-hmm. But as the demand has grown, I do want to see us in a retail store. Which one, I don't know. I don't know. I say Whole Foods, but I'm like, I say Target, but I used to work for Target. So I'm really not, you know, a fan of Target, sorry. So, you know, I don't know. I do know, however, that I want to build a multi-million-dollar industry company so I can leave it to my children. That's the number one goal. Building wealth for my kids, right? I have 3 kids, and how dare I leave it up to someone else to provide jobs for my children? That's my job, to make sure that they don't have to go knocking on somebody else's door for work. That we built this so you can go ahead and grow this and keep the, you know, legacy, if you will. But I just want to be like the first Black woman in the coffee industry to be nationally distributed. Mm-hmm. Right. And for any Black woman behind me coming and saying, listen, I want to jump into the coffee world, and Fly provided the blueprint, because there's no one. There's one person that I know out of Texas who's in the coffee world, Ciara from Mama's Brew Coffee, super dope. But other than that, it's just no one else. So just creating the lane, opening the lane for other women and men in coffee, and, you know, just being able to be on the shelf. I don't know. I just want to keep working. I just want to put in the work. I just want to keep my head down. I don't really, honestly, I don't know who's my competitor. I'm my own competitor. I don't look at competitors. I work. And that's how I've been able to move so quickly, by working. I don't look around. I just focus, and hopefully, God willing, we'll be on the shelves and everybody get Boss Blend Coffee.
Yes.
So that's really it. That's really it. And just keep delivering great bomb ass coffee.
Pun intended.
Period.
I love that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Yes. And so it is. So everything that's you guys are saying, it's going to happen, which is why I'm trying to make you guys speak it into existence. So thank you so much, Fly.
Thank you.
So who wants to go next? Don't all jump at once.
I'll go.
Okay.
Since this is like manifestation hour, I will do that. So we are talking with national retailers right now for a 2021 launch, spring launch. We're looking at a couple different ones, but the price point really is what is important to us. I think prior to 2020, I would have undersold Folk and tried to get on the shelves and lowered my costs. But, you know, we have a thriving online business, and I just feel like the next step into mainstream retail really needs to get us to that $1 million mark. And I think Black-owned businesses, particularly Black women-owned businesses, when they enter into retail relationships with national retailers, really screw themselves over, because they don't ask for, because we want so badly to get on that shelf that we haven't done the numbers. So we're being super cautious and bringing in numbers people, which I am not, to really help us work through our margins and make sure that Folk can rep the, you know, African diaspora herbalist tradition in mainstream aisles, and that we can grow from it and not have to leave in 6 months, as we see so many brands have to exit so quickly. So that is what we're working on right now. But I would say my big dreams are, I am going to start studying distillation with a farmer in Pennsylvania, because I am super, super passionate about Black farming, you know, coming from Kentucky and having a grandfather who raised me to understand how to grow tomatoes and watermelons. And, you know, that is our culture. And I see so many people from the diaspora, from the continent and the Caribbean, who are bringing those ingredients to the US. And I'm like, why aren't Black Americans? Why aren't we doing this? This is what we were, this is our legacy. So I'm getting a little chills. I have somebody in South Carolina who already has the land allocated for a distillation pod. It don't have to be big, right? It doesn't have to be big. We can start with a 10-gallon still and a little trailer. But literally, like, the ingredients that I use are wild harvested, and it's like turning weeds into money and doing it in a way where people who don't have opportunities in this small southern community, we can give them a bin and have them, and some shears, and have them go harvest for 5 hours and make money. So I don't quite know. I know where I'm here, and I know that I'm going to get there. So that's what 2020 is going to be. Figuring out how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. And then my final dream is that I want to do really like a photographic essay of the African diaspora botanicals. That might be in 10 years. Distillation is 2020, 2021. So pray for me.
I love it.
I'm going to do it. I don't know how I'm going to do it.
You're going to do it. You already spoke about it. So you have
Yeah.
All right. So either Monique or Nicole.
I'll go next, I guess. I think that question is always like a loaded question for me as well. When I first, I guess, came up with the name The Clarity Shop, I did it in a way that it was more broad because I always knew that I wanted to be more than candles and music. I think if I'm looking in the future, I've always had a love for like interior design and holistic health and mental wellness. And so in the future, that's something that I definitely want to gear more towards, especially having the Black community on the forefront of all that. Because I think for me, you know, in society in general, mental health plays a huge part in everything that we do. But as I know, when we go and we look in the Black community, especially, it's still one of the least accessible things that we have. And so I think long-term for me, I just want to be able to create a space, a wellness space that kind of incorporates all things clarity. So, you know, whether that's holistic health or mental wellness or design, all of that. Like someone just said, you know, I know that I'm here and I know where I want to be, but I think it's just me trying to figure out the path along the way to, you know, to get there. So we'll see.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. Last but not least, Monique, you want to end us on a good note?
Yeah. So I'm still kind of thinking of like the next 6 months. I'm not really thinking too far ahead because I am so new. But I really want to just keep making new products. I have my face and body bars, but I also have a solid dish soap that I sold out of really quickly because I guess it's not very common. So that's something that I kind of want to expand my line a little bit with. I also have a shampoo bar. I would love to make a conditioner bar to go with that. And just other cleansers, other household cleansers. It's so hard to find non-toxic household cleansers. And so I would love to just make like, you know, like stainless steel cleaners and glass cleaners and things of that nature, and just find a way to do it as simply as possible. You know, just like no frills cleaner, just get it clean. That's it. So that's what I'm kind of working on. That's my 6-month goal, but yeah.
And so it is. Well, guys, this was so beautiful. This was a great way to spend my Wednesday night. It's always lovely seeing BOM founders, Black-owned businesses. And I hope you guys are seeing the success and taking a part of that's happening, because this is our time. And thank you so much to everyone that was able to join this chat. Whether you're signed up monthly or this is your first and only time, continue to support these Black-owned brands that are on this line right now. They're all tagged. I put their names in the chat as well. If you follow us on social, they're all there. So they have so many other products that aren't included in this box. So I encourage you to go on their website and check that out. But thank you so much, you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
And all right.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.